This special episode of Unreliable Narrator is in honor of the memories of the thousands of Seekers who met their doom in the Area 51 massacre of 2019. Ryan and I discussed the live footage that was online. It has now been taken down by the authorities, so you can no longer find that footage. And we also interviewed Dr. Stone, the world-famous Naruto Scholar. Then we go over some top-secret items that were seen inside of Area 51 before the carnage began.
All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another podcast of Unreliable Narrator. This is a special episode that we're doing just to cover the post-tragedy of the Area 51 massacre. As many of you know, 2 million people were called to the desert from Facebook to join the siege of Area 51 and resulted in the mass casualty event that we now have seen. So today we're going to do a post-tragedy report. Tim, I'll let you say a little something.
I know a lot of you've seen the terrible footage from that day. I don't really want to get into all the gory details, but I know I'm going to have a hard time ever unseeing what an alien destructo ray can do to the human body. It's very reminiscent of certain scenes on The Boys. Where were you that day, Ryan? Were you expecting anything's magnitude?
Well, once I saw it was going home, I just came home from work and I was just glued to the coverage on TV, on my phone, on the old Facebook and the Twitter. And I'd been kind of concerned a few weeks before when I heard how many people had signed up to be part of this raid. And I knew that something big was going to happen and it was going to have a high turnout. So I really wanted to catch all the coverage I could while it was happening. I would have made it down there myself, but my Fiat has a disgruntled ball joint, so I couldn't drive down in time. I just had to watch at home. So that's where I was for most of the time. I did see most of the carnage that the military unleashed during the raid, which we'll talk about a bit later, and some of the things I'm never going to forget. So it's best that we don't really get into too many gory details. I don't want to, as respect for the people that day, I just don't want to get into that. But simply put, I wasn't expecting what we saw, and I don't think we're going to ever see something like this in our lifetime ever again.
Yeah, it really brings it home that there must really be something that they don't want us to know about in that base. But out of all those people that stormed that heavily defended location, there was at least one survivor, and he apparently used the legendary Naruto run to make it to safety. And I never really knew much about this before. I don't know. Did you have prior knowledge of this Naruto run?
No. I've never owned a Naruto, so I don't know how they work or why they give a person the runs. But I only saw the brief footage of them, and that was enough to kind of there. I guess there's something special about that. I'm going to have to learn how to do this run because there's got to be something to it. I mean, if it's a self-defense tactic I've never thought of trying out.
Yeah, it seems it must have been pretty effective if it got him out of there. I guess the other people just weren't in the know of the exact procedure, how to do this. Yeah, I did get in contact with Dr. Andrew Stone, the world-famous Naruto scholar, and he did agree to give us a quick interview just describing exactly how this gentleman probably escaped. Maybe let's cut to that interview now.
Absolutely.
So we have here with us today Dr. Andrew Stone. He's a scholar of anime. He's been studying ancient Chinese and Japanese documents for years now. So Dr. Stone, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your work?
Well, I mean, this has always been a lifelong fascination of mine. There's a lot of detailed records here of otherworldly events and people that to normal people appear to be unexplained. So I've just really been taken into digging through this stuff and trying to decide what is like where the facts are, like what's the basis for some of these scientific discoveries that people have made in the past.
That's really interesting. Okay, so I'm sure that you've seen the footage of the massacre, and you know that at least 150 people lost their lives, but one guy did manage to somehow use some secret techniques to escape.
Yes, you're talking about the ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village that used the famous Naruto run, correct?
I think so. I don't really know much about this myself. I was kind of surprised that anybody could escape that kind of an attack.
Yes, but if he was employing the art of the Naruto run, it is totally plausible that that is a thing that would be within the realm of something he could do.
Okay, so walk me through this a little bit, because like in the videos, like body parts are flying. Like there seemed to be no way that a normal human being could make it out of there.
So the idea is that normal people run and use the action of their arms pumping to give themselves more force. But the idea is that if you lean forward and move your arms back, you can potentially use them as stabilizers to try and put more drive into your legs. And then if you're a ninja, you can utilize your inner chakra, is what they call it, to put more power into your feet, which will allow you to have sudden bursts of speed that might not be captured by camera. So there's always the potential that you couldn't actually have seen him move out of the way of something and then move back.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty mysterious. I really think that the people running in the Olympian competitors, they should be using these techniques too.
But if you think about it, though, he's a ninja, and ninjas are very secretive people. They wouldn't want normal people to know their techniques. So only a select few might know, right? Okay.
Yeah. I know when we originally communicated by email, you had mentioned that there might be a connection with the aliens.
Yeah. So if you dig farther into the history of the Hidden Leaf Village, and you dig into like where this idea of the chakra came from, you'll actually find that there could be a potential connection with an alien. They're saying that there was an alien deity that came to the planet at some undisclosed time. We're given the idea that it could be like 1,000 years ago or more. And chakra actually originates from this being. And then it is just passed down in through like lineage, essentially.
Huh. Well, that's very interesting information. I'd really like to thank you for spending this time to talk to us, Dr. Stone.
No problem.
Okay.
If you ever require more insights, just let me know. I'll come back anytime.
Is there a way that people can get a hold of you?
I mean, if they're looking for more information, they're more than welcome to email me at my email that I will have to give to you another time, because I don't want too many people to know. I need to have a little bit of screening here, because there's a lot of like information that might not be real out there, and I have to dig through a lot of it. So I can't deal with too many people, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. So I guess if anybody really wants to get a hold of you, they can email us at unreliablenarrator2009@gmail.com, and we'll pass the message to you.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, there we heard from Dr. Andrew Stone, Naruto Scholar. Yeah, I don't know, Tim. I guess well over 2 million people, they trekked into the desert to that Area 1 facility, and they weren't prepared for what they met. The Army deployed pretty vicious methods at first. You know, the loudspeakers they brought to the fence, they were playing the Old Town Road, ear-splitting volumes. You know, this is stuff that they learned. They must have learned this from the old FBI Waco, Texas standoff. I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but they had the old Billy Ray Cyrus speakers out blasting all the people inside that compound. I guess this was meant to keep the people out instead of keep the people, or I don't know, keep the people out instead of drive the people out. I don't know. But same tactic. We've seen this used time and time again. And who would have known that the destructive weapons that they ultimately turned on the raiders would be by their own government? I mean, we have to look at the silver linings here, though. The destructo weapon, it left very little mess to clean up. So 2 million casualties in one event. I mean, they just have some light feather dusting to do. I guess we can look on the bright side that way.
It just really, who would have ordered an attack like this? I know they probably thought they had no choice considering the things they have hidden away, but who would have actually authorized the use of weapons like this? Instead of they must have had non-lethal methods as well.
Well, I don't know. It's one of those things where, you know, I don't know what kind of recon they were having done behind the walls and behind the fences at Area 51, but they sure weren't able to see that the first siege of raiders, the Warhammer guys, you know, they wore their armor that day, and I don't think they could have known, the army, I mean, could have known that what they were dealing with was just, you know, yoga mats basically shaped into armor. It looks, you know, the guys did a really good job on their outfits. They looked quite real, but they weren't able to handle up to small arms fire. They weren't able to handle up to destructo arrays. And ultimately, you know, I think once the army saw how completely into it they already were, I think the rest was just a domino effect. They just let loose with everything they had. I don't know. Did you catch some of the footage?
I did. I had to turn away halfway through. It was over the top.
Yeah, I don't know. The Warhammer siege is what really got me. Once they were done, I mean, I couldn't look at the screen anymore. I just listened to basically the footage. But the thing about it is we all kind of had an idea of what they had at the site. I mean, it wasn't any surprise. I don't think any of us really knew that they could really do that amount of damage in such a short period of time. We thought maybe that a lot of people thought maybe we'd see something, they'd deploy something that we hadn't seen before. We could maybe figure out how to get around it, how to, you know, adapt. But there was no adapting to what we saw. But the thing is, what we did see is we could speak openly about now. You know, they tried to spin us with all the stealth technology, the test flights and everything that happened there. But we all knew in the end what was down there, and they just proved it to us. So I don't know, some of the things that people did see, there was a couple people who got in and they had a few things to say about what they saw. And we've written down some of what they were. And we made a little list of things that they're keeping down there that we know of for now. And a few things maybe that we could speculate on after we go through what we're looking at here.
Sure. Well, of course, number one is the Ark of the Covenant. And we knew that was there anyway, because Indiana Jones recovered it from the Nazis. And it was pretty much a big leak that it had ended up at either Hangar 18 or at Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it is there.
I wonder if there are any other religious artifacts.
That's a good question. Maybe the Shroud of Turin?
It could be. I don't know that it'd have any weapon value though. So it'd be hard to say. It could be. I mean, if you can look at this box and the inside of it and your face melts, I mean, what happens when the Shroud of Turin hits your eyes?
We got alien somebody in it.
Or you wrap somebody in it. Maybe it's like what do you call that? Like some sort of boa constrictor saran wrap. Something to think about. Or something to not think about. Man, I don't want to go in there. But we got, you know, alien bodies cryogenically stored after the autopsies. Everyone has seen those. The video is available online. So that's visually confirmed by one of the survivors of the event.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that they have some of those bees in there that they had on the X-Files, those genetically engineered bees. I can't remember exactly what they did to you other than, you know, it wasn't good.
Yeah, and the black goo. I mean, we've seen the black goo again. Another X-Files thing. The show was pretty much what we could call now prophecy. Again, black goo. X-Files had the black goo. We've got Fire in the Sky, again, black goo. And visually confirmed again by one of the survivors, black goo. Again, don't mess with it. It does shitty things to you.
Of course, multiple areas there with just UFO parts, probably from crash sites. From the descriptions of the people that got in there, they must be reverse engineering various parts.
Yeah, I actually spoke with one of the survivors. He wouldn't go on record, but he did describe to me a part, and I was able to do an artist's rendition of it. I'm going to keep that in my possession right now, but I'll just describe it to you, Tim. It's a stainless steel tube.
Really?
Yeah, but it's got a different sheen of gray to it. It's just there's something different about it. I couldn't really capture it with the limited tools I have as an artist, but I tried my best. And if anyone wants to direct message me for that or send us an email, I will send you the artist rendition of that part.
And then, of course, this is maybe a little bit of speculation, but they claim to have seen a chemtrail spreading unit that the government attaches to jet airplanes to poison the American people with. Not a lot of details on exactly the shape of this device or how it works, but we know that chemtrails, it's a big problem.
Yeah, especially if you load those things with fluoride. I mean, if that's what they were doing there, we can only speculate, but we do know that they had the spreading units. We don't know what they were putting in the tanks, but again, confirmed by survivors, chemtrail spreading units were there.
Okay, now we're just down to a little bit of speculation here of things that maybe they had in there.
Yeah, they did. They were able to kind of make it rain, I guess, in the desert that day. There was a slight period where we did see a little bit of sleet or rain come down. It was only for about 3 or 4 seconds. So we're kind of thinking now that they do have some sort of weather control device, and what they can do with that or what the limitations of it are, we don't know. But we just saw it deployed for like 30 seconds of sleet. Maybe it was hallucinogens from the chemtrails.
Could be.
But some people were describing sleet.
And you never know, maybe that was the bees.
It could have been the bees. Not the bees. Not the bees.
Okay, and there was also some embryo tanks there of some sort of cloning tanks.
Yeah, I heard about this too. They had pretty big smiles, and a lot of people were saying they looked too happy, and they were speculating that we might actually be dealing with an underground clone army of Tom Cruise clones. Could be devastating for the nation when they unleash them. I don't know what they plan on doing with Tom Cruise clones, but they got him. I think they got him anyway.
Well, Tom Cruise is known to be a cleared individual, according to Dianetics. So if you were going to pick somebody to clone, somebody that would be your ultimate soldier, it could be somebody that believes in the Church of Scientology.
Well, that'd pretty much be it. And the other thing that we found down there is that in typical arms race fashion, they're also most likely cloning an opposing army of Brooke Shields clones. And what they're going to do, we can only speculate, but I'm guessing here that the intention would be to have some sort of false flag operation where they deploy the Tom Cruise clones, they deploy the Brooke Shields clones in some sort of mass event, a big catastrophic war, maybe somewhere in the Midwest, maybe somewhere even in a northern climate. Arctic sovereignty might come into play here, but they might be working on these, and the only thing would be to give them justification for deploying some of their other weapons to combat this.
And that gets us down to our last item there. How exactly would they bring about enough world disorder to deploy these clones? And the answer appears to be an affordable electric car that would throw our entire economy into uproar.
Yeah, I mean, that it's the ultimate disruption here. I mean, they did have someone came out with a scrap of paper for a plan or something like that, and it got ripped up a little bit, but the AF and the ELEC and R were visible on that sheet of paper. So we can only surmise that means an affordable electric car. Yeah, what that would do to the world. I mean, when these things are all going to come back to haunt us, we don't know, but they're coming, and we know sort of what they are. Man, I don't know. There's it's going to be strange days ahead.
If we drag the pieces together, the obvious solution is between the crashed UFO parts that they've reverse engineered that, and that tube is from an affordable and electric car. That's got to be what it is.
What else would you be doing with the reverse engineering part? Genius. You'd have to be putting it in there. You'd have to be. I mean, what else could it do?
Don't know what else you'd use a tube for.
Some sort of fuel transmission, any sort of gas, alien gas that may be used to cushion the mechanisms of the electric car. Anything. I mean, one can only speculate. I mean, it gets wild the more you think about it.
I don't know how much farther we should get into this. It's definitely a tragic occurrence. Like you said, I don't know if we'll ever see a thing like this occur again. I hope we don't.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of human curiosity out there, right? And everyone's staying curious. This is a good thing. This is what we at Unreliable Narrator love, is that we live in a curious and sometimes intrusive society. And there's no shortage of people who aren't willing to follow their heart, do the thing that they said they're going to do on Facebook, and follow the people down to Area 51 or anywhere for that matter, and find the real truth.
Well, definitely some people found truth that they weren't ready to face. If only they had brought real armor instead of cosplay armor.
Yeah, that's the thing is, people, you got to look after your own safety there. The advent of 3D printing, I mean, if we can get to some place, like we can get to carbon fiber, we can get to fiberglass, like let's leave the foam behind. The yoga mat's got to go. The hot glue, I mean, it looks good, but it's not going to stand up to gunfire. It's certainly not going to stand up to the destructo ray. I think we're going to have to look at some electromagnetic kind of repellents just to make sure that this sort of stuff doesn't happen to anyone else. But I don't know if it's possible that we can have this ready in time for the next event. Now that they know what they're dealing with, they'll probably have time to work on some sort of countermeasure to make sure that everyone's dealt with.
Yeah, I don't know if they're planning on another event like this, say in a year, but it's ill-advised.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't need to see that loss of life again. It's needless. It's pointless, and you got to be prepared for these sort of things.
I guess the only benefit is if we're talking about global climate change, we're talking a couple million less people contributing to global warming, and that's about the only positive here.
Very Thanos. Yep. I just don't know, Tim. I'm lost for words right now. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to think. I've been shaken to my foundations. I'm usually very stoic about these sort of things, but I'm really having a hard time swallowing this one. And I just I don't know how I'm going to go forward. I will, but it's going to be a darker place, knowing that 2 million people just vanished that day.
At the same time, though, we've come a little closer to finding the actual truth of what they've been hiding in these secret areas, and knowledge is good. Came at quite a cost, but
yeah, and it might lead to smaller truths. Like we went for a big one here. Humanity went for a big truth today, and we didn't get the full extent of it. But those little truths, I think a lot of people are going to be not as frightened to go after the little ones. Your pizza bombers and your Unabombers and your false flag conspiracies and fluoride and chemtrails. Area 51, of course, is off limits, but the Roswell crash, JFK, anything. These are little truths that just an army of one can do, and these are the ones that I think are going to be opened up to uncover going forward.
Yeah, maybe an intrepid crew, instead of advertising the fact that they're all going to storm a place, could sneak up on Hangar 18. That might be more effective. I mean, if you let them know you're coming, they can prepare the destructo ray. They may not have even had it out on the fence until then.
Or maybe the destructo ray was in the fence. We don't know.
Maybe.
We don't know. That's the hard part. That's why we need, you know, these little victories are going to lead to the big ones, and eventually we're going to get a big one. But I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get to see it, but we certainly got to see something that day, and I think we'll see a few more.
Okay, well, with that, let's wrap this episode up, and we'll let you go back to your regular programming now.
Regular programming, folks.
Okay, it's been a slice.
It has been a slice.